Hello everybody. Viktor Frankl died on this day in 1997, the Austrian-American neurologist, psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. And in the book by which he's best known, Man's Search for Meaning, he seeks to explore how it can be that in the face of the horrors of something like the extermination camps, life can still have a purpose. One of the things that strikes me as being most powerful is that he asserts that even in the midst of the most horrific pain and suffering, there is deep down within each individual a capacity to choose good rather than evil. He talks about how in the camps some people would give away their last piece of bread to somebody else, and how that was their choice. And I want to quote at length, if I may, what he said about this. In the final analysis, it becomes clear that the sort of person the prisoner became was the result of an inner decision and not the result of camp influences. Fundamentally, any person can, even under such circumstances, decide what shall become of them, mentally and spiritually. They may retain their human dignity even in a concentration camp. It is this spiritual freedom, which cannot be taken away, that makes life meaningful and purposeful. The way in which a person accepts their fate and all the suffering it entails, the way in which they take up their cross, gives them ample opportunity, even under the most difficult circumstances, to add a deeper meaning to their life. It may remain brave, dignified and unselfish, or in the bitter fight for self-preservation they may forget their human dignity and become no more than an animal. I find that profoundly encouraging and not something I would ever have said myself. That's why I've quoted him. As someone who's not really experienced any major suffering in my life, I don't feel it's for me to say that even in the midst of the darkest suffering, it's possible to retain one's humanity and one's capacity to choose good. But for someone who's been there, who's been in that situation, still to say that at the end of the day, it is human choice and human freedom which triumphs, I find I can believe it, because it's come from someone who speaks out of personal experience. And so today I'm going to just celebrate my own freedom to choose, my ability to choose what's good, which I hope I will exercise rightly, and be grateful for the fact that I'm doing that with very little pressure really to do the opposite, and to have enormous respect for those who under tremendous pressure to do the opposite, in fact manage to retain their freedom and their desire to do good.